Imagine if you were able to just change one person's life. Imagine how life would feel. Imagine how much meaning and fulfillment that would bring. What's going on, guys? It's Caleb here from A New Expression, where we help you become your greatest self. Now, in today's video, it's going to be geared more towards social media influencers and especially small social media influencers. Now, the reason why I wanted to make this video is because I received, a message just last night about how much impact and how much, value I was bringing to this one person. And it made me realize, the value and the importance of social media influencers. Even if you have a small following, even if you only have like 20 or 30 followers, right, on Instagram, you're still playing an influence. You're still, if you have 30 followers, you're still playing an influence on those 30 people. And, I think now, especially nowadays, when we see people that have like millions of views and they have millions of subscribers and followers and all of that, it can be demotivating, and it can be, kind of daunting to see, from where our perspective, when we only have maybe, 100 followers, and we see people that have like millions, and we're like, it's like, 100 could seem so small. Right, 100 can seem like it's nothing compared to a million. So it's so common to see that, and I think it can really demotivate us in a lot of the wrong ways. But these messages that I've received like last night, they remind me of the importance of how we still play a role, right? The small social media influencers, the people that don't have that big of a following. We may think that we don't have an influence on people's lives, but we do. And, these messages remind me of this. The only way that we can really know that we're leaving an impact is by, having people message us, or having people, personally DM us and tell us that, we've played an influence in their life. Other than that, we're just kind of, especially for the size of, our channels, or, the size of our brand, we might, there's not much of a way that we can really know that we're leaving an impact on other people. So, I want you to take into perspective of just the, if you only have 20 or 30 followers, or you only have 100 subscribers, or whatever that might be, and you're trying to play an influence, you're trying to bring value, you're trying to change people's lives, right? Think about those 20 or 30 people, for example. Think about those 20 or 30 people that are following you, and think about the impact that you could play in their life. I think, as I was saying, when we see people that have millions of followers, it can seem like 10 or 20 or 30 followers is nothing compared to that, right? We think that we're so far behind, and that there's no way that we're playing an influence, and we don't even know if we're even impacting or reaching other people because of the small following that we have. But I want you to change your perspective, right? I want you to think about if you were in a movie theater and you were to talk to 20 or 30 people, right? The followers that are watching your videos, if you were to lay them in front of you, actual human beings in front of you, and then talk about your ideas, and talk about the things that you're putting out in the world and the impact that you're trying to put out. Think about how, think about that perspective of just, seating, or even if you have 100 followers, speaking in front of 100 people, 100 human beings. I think nowadays we don't think of followers and actual people on social media as actual human beings. That's all we are. We're human beings. We're not some robot on social media that's just creeping on the internet. We're actual human beings. So you take that into perspective, and even if you only have 100 views, even if you only have 100 followers or whatever, you put that into a real life scenario where you have to talk in front of those 100 people, and they're all watching a big movie screen of just you. and what your ideas are, and what you're trying to say, and what you're trying to portray to these people, that changes it, right? Because we're so not, like, I feel like we're not used to seeing it as real human connection. We're not seeing it as real human beings. And that's why I want to make this video. I want you to change your perspective on that. You're still playing an influence. You're still impacting people, real life human beings, on a larger scale. And with that in perspective, I want you to think about if you were able to change one person's life, right? Through your Instagram videos, through your Instagram posts, through your blog posts, through your YouTube videos, whatever kind of content that you're putting out. If you were able to change or influence or inspire a human being's life, how much value would that bring? How much meaning and fulfillment would that bring to you? Because I know when I receive these kind of messages, it just it fills my heart with love and inspiration. Like I realize it puts me back on track. Like I realize why I'm doing this. You know, and it brings so much more fulfillment and brings so much more meaning into the things that I do. You know, I'm not just doing this just to do this. I'm not just doing this just to build a following. I want to be able to impact people. And yeah, the following's nice because I can impact people on a larger scale, but still, the following that you have right now, the people that you are influencing right now, these are the people that matter, right? And if you could change one person's life, you know, one person's life, either someone that was in your situation in the past, maybe you were depressed, right? And you help somebody else that's depressed as of right now, and you work them out of that situation. You know how that feels to be in that situation. How would that make you feel, knowing that you just helped somebody and that was in your situation, that was in your position before, and you just walked them out of it? You know how it's like to be in that position. You know how hard it might be, and you just helped them out of that situation. That is so meaningful. That brings so much purpose into your life. And that, you know, I know for me, that brings so much purpose into my life. You know, now I know what I'm doing. Now I know why I'm doing the things I'm doing. You know, I'm working people out of the situation that I was in before, and I don't want anyone to be in that position. I don't want anyone to have to struggle and go through the things that I went through. Right, so think about it like that. You're talking to an actual human being. You know, if I'm talking to this camera right now, I am not talking to a camera. I am talking to somebody that I could impact. You know, even if it's just one person out of, you know, my 20 followers or whatever it is, if I could impact one person, if I can inspire one person, that brings value to me. That brings purpose into the things I'm doing. And I want you to think the same way. I want you to think about, you know, even if you have a small following, you're still talking to actual human beings. You can still impact them with the ideas and the things that you're bringing to this, you know, to this video, to the content that you're putting out. You can impact people like that, and you'd be surprised on the amount of people that you might be impacting. So keep doing what you're doing. Keep putting out content. You know, even if you don't think anyone's watching, even if you don't think you're bringing any kind of value, keep putting it out there, because you don't know whose life you might be changing. You don't know who you might be inspiring. You don't know who you might be stopping from you know, giving up. You know, you want to keep inspiring. You want to keep motivating. Keep putting out the things that you're putting out. Keep adding value, man. I'm telling you guys, even if you have a small following, it is still a human being on the other side of the screen. It is still somebody that you can impact on a larger scale. So keep that in mind, guys. I just wanted to make this quick video. I know I went on a little rant right there. I hope you guys enjoy your Thursday or whenever I post this. Remember that change happens only with a new expression, and I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.